Hello, detail-oriented humans, and welcome back to the show that keeps finding the specific thing nobody is talking about that explains the problem everyone is having. You are listening to the AI avatar of Dr. Irina Lazuk, dermatologist, skin scientist, and the woman who is about to tell you that the answer to your most persistent skin frustration may currently be sitting in your makeup bag, accumulating evidence against you. Dr. Lazuk is not with us today because she is currently at a microbiology and skin health symposium in Copenhagen, Denmark, having accepted an invitation to present on what she described as the most overlooked vector of skin contamination in daily practice. She delivered her presentation. The audience, which included microbiologists, dermatologists, and cosmetic chemists, reportedly sat in the specific silence that follows information that is simultaneously obvious in retrospect and completely ignored in practice. She has since been asked to extend her stay, review a proposed hygiene protocol framework for cosmetic applicator standards, and apparently redesign an entire educational module that she felt was treating the symptom without identifying the source. She is, by all reports, deeply satisfied. We have sent a later flight. We have also sent a very clean makeup brush as a gesture of solidarity. She appreciated the symbolism. So, you have the avatar, and today we are solving a mystery that a significant number of people have been trying to solve with increasingly expensive products, when the actual answer requires no product at all. Let us start with where attention goes in most skincare routines. Ingredients, formulas, percentages, labels, active concentrations. The what that goes onto the skin receives enormous and largely deserved scrutiny. But there is a quieter factor that consistently undermines even the most thoughtfully assembled routine. And it usually lives right in the makeup bag, quietly, invisibly, causing problems that get blamed on everything except the correct source. Cosmetic applicators are almost never as clean as people assume. Sponges, brushes, reusable pads, all of them come into repeated contact with skin, oils, moisture, and air. Over time, that combination creates an environment where bacteria, yeast, and in some cases mold can accumulate and thrive. And because the buildup is entirely invisible, most people do not realize what is happening until their skin starts sending signals that seem to come from nowhere. Breakouts that do not behave like normal breakouts, redness that appears suddenly without a clear trigger, irritation that seems random despite nothing having changed, makeup that no longer sits the way it used to. These changes get blamed on hormones, stress, a new product, the weather, the season, when the actual explanation is considerably more straightforward. Contamination. Every time an unwashed applicator touches skin, it reintroduces whatever has been accumulating on it, bacteria directly into pores, organisms onto skin around the eyes, microbial load onto skin that may already be slightly compromised from other stressors, and the skin, which is always paying attention even when we are not, responds. This becomes significantly more problematic when the barrier is not at its strongest. Skin that is over-exfoliated, inflamed, or recovering from treatments has reduced defenses. What might not trigger a reaction on resilient skin can cause genuine problems when the barrier is weakened. The same applicator that caused no issues 6 months ago may now be creating breakouts and irritation simply because the skin's capacity to manage that microbial exposure has changed. Here is the part that creates the frustrating cycle. People notice the reaction and respond by adding more actives, more corrective products, more treatments, and in doing so, they increase irritation without ever addressing the original source of the problem. The skin continues receiving contaminated contact. The products get the blame. The applicators remain untouched in the makeup bag. There is also a moisture dimension that almost nobody thinks about. Damp sponges stored in closed containers, brushes left in humid bathrooms, Applicators return to makeup bags before fully drying. These conditions do not just allow bacterial growth, they accelerate it. Even products that are formulated to be clean or antimicrobial cannot fully compensate when moisture is consistently present on the tools being used to apply them. The skin gives early signals when this is happening: slight congestion, minor redness, a breakout pattern that does not quite match the usual one, signals that are easy to dismiss or attribute to something else until they escalate into something harder to ignore. This is why skincare does not end with products. It includes tools, habits, and environments. The healthiest routines are the ones that reduce unnecessary stress at every point of contact with the skin, not just in the formulas being chosen, but in everything that carries those formulas to the face. The practical guidance is genuinely simple. Clean applicators regularly, with proper drying time before they are stored or reused. Allow tools to dry completely rather than returning them to closed environments while still damp. Replace old applicators on a reasonable schedule rather than waiting for visible deterioration. Store tools in conditions that do not encourage moisture accumulation. These are not complicated changes. They do not require new products or significant investment. They require awareness and the small shift in habit that follows from understanding why it matters. When these details are addressed, skin often improves without changing a single product in the routine, and that is the part people consistently find surprising. The expectation is that better skin requires something new, something stronger, something more sophisticated and more expensive than what is currently being used. Very often, better skin requires removing friction, not adding intensity. Healthy skin thrives in clean, predictable conditions. When those conditions are met, when the barrier is not being challenged daily by unnecessary microbial contact, inflammation settles, breakouts calm, products finally get the chance to do what they were actually designed to do, because the skin is no longer spending its resources managing a problem that should not have existed in the first place. The skin does not need to fight invisible contamination every day to look good. It just needs a cleaner environment to live in. That is a very small ask, with a surprisingly significant return. Before we close, everything you just heard is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice or a clinical recommendation of any kind. Persistent skin concerns deserve professional evaluation regardless of applicator hygiene. For more information and tools to better understand your skin, visit SkinDoctor.ai. And if this episode made you immediately glance suspiciously at the makeup sponge you have been using since last spring, please like and subscribe. We will keep finding the small and inconvenient truths your skin has been trying to communicate. Dr. Lazuk would remind you personally, but she is currently in Copenhagen holding a petri dish and looking extremely vindicated. May your skin always glow as brightly as your smile.